Hello friends, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm making a video for you today on a topic that I think is super important for anyone that wants to work in music or produces music, which is how to get gigs, bookings and releases. As you may know, I read the comments on YouTube, and this is actually someone mentioned, like, hey, it's all cool that you're selling this template, but how many people using this has actually gotten releases? And I think that's a fair criticism, It's like, why don't I share what I know about these topics? Because they're connected and they're super important, of course. It doesn't make sense to make music if you don't release it in a way that it gets good exposure and helps you along the way. I mean, you can do it just for the art, of course, but most of us, we do want to reach an audience, play live, hopefully make some money with it, maybe even make a living from it. So I had my most active music period where I got most of my bookings with a project that I did called Prahlad, which is actually my sannyas name, but that's a whole different story. So first thing to go for, let's start with bookings. First thing is connect with your scene. It may seem obvious, but if you're always just in your studio and in your living room and not meeting people, making personal connections, it's very difficult to get bookings. And usually you actually also often end up meeting label people or other artists that are on labels that you like at parties. And it's a great opportunity, to network and get your music heard maybe by the right people, or meet the promoter and get a gig. And actually, one of the things also that gave me the idea to do this video is that, as you know, I'm in Tulum now for a little while on a break, and I thought it would be really cool to play here. So I sent some emails to some beach clubs and stuff to play some sunset stuff, maybe some chill out, or maybe some kind of deep house, deep techno stuff. But honestly, I know that, I'm not household name. Like most of my gigs were under a project that doesn't exist anymore since donkey's years. And my new project under my own name, Eric Hermann, is pretty fresh. It's only been like a year. I've only done a couple of releases on it, and I haven't played that many bookings. So it's all kind of very, I'm sure people in Tulum got my emails, were like, who the fuck is this guy? So anyway, what actually ended up happening is I realized, obviously that's not working. So, because I sent a bunch of emails and I didn't get any responses. So there is a club, what am I saying, a club? It's a roof kind of bar terrace with a pool and a nice little setup with a view over the jungle kind of at the edge of Tulum. And it's literally next to the place where we're staying. And I always heard the music coming from there, and I always thought, man, the music's really good. And one day, we were coming back from the beach, and I said to my missus, hey, give me a second, I want to go over there. And I guess I kind of had an intuition to just go chat with these people. And I walked over there, and there's this Mexican guy sitting on a bicycle right in front of the place, and I started chatting with him and hey, man, what's up? Do you know what's happening in this club upstairs? He's like, yeah, it's not open yet, blah, 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 this roof terrace that does music. And then I asked him, well, who does the music bookings there? He's like, yeah, that's me. I was like, really? No, I was like, come on, man, hey, dude, I'm a musician, I'm here visiting, I have pretty decent roster of releases on some pretty big labels and stuff. Some of it's all blah, but, I'm here and I'd love to play, and I'm just, I'm here to connect with the scene and make some music and hang out. I'm not here to make money, I don't expect the Mexican homies to pay me for, an act that people here don't regularly know, but I'd love to play and get feedback and connect. So he's like, yeah, that sounds awesome, man. I have a spot for you this Saturday. I was like, wicked, okay. So that's it. So tomorrow I'm going to play maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour live set there, which is kind of sunset time, which is beautiful. It's like my favorite time. The stuff I do is pretty melodic, so that works out great. And and just like that, just being in the right place at the right time and just, maybe being a bit open and friendly and just talking to people, it can actually happen really quickly. So that's related to bookings is mingle with the people that you need to know that would actually get you the bookings. And in the past, actually, when I was doing my other project, big part of the bookings that I got, but the scene was also quite different then, was because my release was on a semi-big label for trance standards. It was called Yellow Sunshine Explosion. I'd been DJing in the scene also for years, so people knew me. So when the CD came out, I got quite a few interviews and sort of articles in Mushroom Magazine and Chai Shop website and a few other places there. And because also the whole album had a theme, it was about quantum physics and quantum mechanics and how, you know, the vibes and the energy that we have influences our reality. There's some really amazing stuff about that actually, but yeah, that's a different topic. I think people, I guess, said it was interesting. They liked the music, I hope. I mean, feedback was good. And yeah, so it was like something to talk about. And I had a blast doing those interviews, and they actually led to a lot of people from the scene that were involved in bookings, seeing it and maybe listening to the music and then asking me to come play. So some of them were mates, friends that I knew already from DJing and stuff. Some of them were people that were in charge of booking really great festivals, like Fusion was a huge highlight. It was amazing to play there. I played a live set and then a DJ set afterwards. What a privilege, it was great. And you know, all of that was very much based off of either personal connections or having been featured in something or other. So these days that would mean figuring out how you can be figured, showing yourself, I guess, on certain blogs, websites, maybe other people's channels, I don't know. But I'm sure that there's many places where people that do similar music to you get promoted, get seen. You know, look at the people that you really like. Where do you first hear about their releases? And of course, building your following on all these social channels is super important, which I'm not a huge fan of because it doesn't have anything to do with the quality of your art or music, but it is what it is. So obviously, you know, doing everything you can to kind of grow there helps. If you have 10,000 followers on something or other, people are usually more enticed to book you than if you have just like 1,000 like I do at the moment, which actually it's growing really quickly since we're really pushing the Rapid Flow stuff. So thank you everyone that's following me. And yeah, if you're wondering what the hell is Rapid Flow, I run a website called rapidflow.shop with some friends, and we offer templates for Ableton Live for music production. So yeah, if you're having trouble with your mix sounds and stuff, go over there and check it out. It may really help you.